You know it's going to be a good birthday when you have Marina Sirtis on the phone. How are you doing, Marina?
Well, hang on a second. Is it your birthday today?
Well, it's not necessarily today, but it's this weekend. I'm celebrating. It's a week-long birthday I'm celebrating.
Okay, well, it was my birthday last week.
I know. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Aries.
Well, happy birthday to you, too. We're Aries twins.
That's right. I'm very depressed, though, about this birthday because I'm starting a new decade. And I feel like...
which decade?
The 30s. And I feel like...
Please.
I feel like it's the end of the world.
I have shoes older than you.
I'm so depressed.
I have shoes older than you, for goodness sake.
They do say 30s are the best decade, though. Is that correct? Did you like your 30s? What were your 30s like?
No. Actually, I can't even remember my 30s.
That's a good thing, I guess.
That was when I was doing Star Trek. I was doing Star Trek in my 30s.
You were in your 30s with Star Trek?
So, yeah, I was.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I was in my 30s. My whole 30s were taken up with Star Trek.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate, I guess.
So, yeah, good. It's a good decade. Yeah, it is.
Which decade do you remember being your best, though? The 20s?
You know what? I think I peaked. And all you women out there, who get a little down in the dumps when you look in the mirror and you think you're getting older, I feel that I peaked at 40.
Really?
Yeah, I felt, I was so insecure when I was young, and I had body issues and, all that rubbish that goes along with being a young woman, this day and age.
Right.
And it wasn't until I was 40 that I kind of went, okay, this is good.
Yeah.
I look good. I feel good. I like who I am. I've kind of settled into my skin. So 40 for me was 40s was a great decade for me as well.
So you got better with time. Then.
Got better with time, like wine.
Like wine, yeah. But now I've gone a bit off.
Well, you still look great. I saw you came to Dallas. I don't know, like 2 years ago or so, and we saw you there, and you look great. Do you work out, or is it just genetics?
I do. I work out, but next time bring your CNI dog around, and I'll give him a treat.
Now, a lot of people talk about Star Trek, and I know you've been asked the same question. There's no question you can ask about Star Trek that hasn't been asked. So what I want to know is...
You know what? There are.
Oh, there are?
There's
okay.
like 4.
Okay. Name one.
No. Every now and then, you get a question. I mean, I got one recently in New Zealand. Don't ask me what it was, because I'm way past my 40s. So I don't know what it was, but I had never been asked it before, and it was from a child.
Oh,
so,
wow.
The kids come up with the new stuff, yeah.
Well, I want to know what happened.
Okay, so go ahead.
After Star Trek, because here you had you're in your 30s and you had a steady income. You were supposed to move back to England, and then you got this job, and then you got stuck here for 7 years doing this show. And it was a hit. It was already getting syndication, and then now this steady paycheck is gone. Are you freaking out at this point, or are you're like,
yeah.
I need a break?
Yeah, freaking out.
You were
majorly freaking out, yeah, because I hadn't auditioned for anything. That was the main thing with me, that I hadn't auditioned for anything for 7 years. Basically, come the hiatus every summer, I would go on vacation.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be like those sensible actresses who do a movie of the week in their hiatus, or go off and do something else. Because I was away from home, I wanted to see my family and my friends when I had 2 months off in the summer. So off I went to Europe to see my brother and, his family, and see my friends in England. And I hadn't auditioned for anything. And so suddenly I was like, oh, my God, I can't do this anymore. I really felt I couldn't do it anymore. And I'm quite a funny person. But because I've been this serious actress for 7 years, and we did the first movie immediately after the series. I mean, I had 3 days off, I think, in between the series.
Oh, wow, I didn't realize it was that quick. Yeah.
Yeah, they literally back to back. So it wasn't actually until the movie was done that I suddenly realized I was unemployed, and I totally freaked out and actually called my agent one day and said, you know what? Don't put me up for any comedies, because I can't do comedy anymore. I can't be funny anymore, because I'd played this serious character for so long. And it's kind of backwards in a way, because you think, oh, you've done this job for 7 years, you should be full of confidence, in your career going forward. With me, it was kind of the opposite. I kind of went, oh my God, I've only played one character in 7 years.
Yeah.
Can I do anything else? So there was that. there was a kind of a process for me to go through until I worked again.
Were you getting a lot of offers for serious work, or were you getting a mix of everything?
Yeah, I got offers, and I turned a lot of stuff down, which looking back, I actually don't live my life in regret because I think that's pointless.
I do too.
But looking back, let's just say I could have made some better decisions.
Yeah.
I see you came out on The Grudge 3. What did
Jaime's excited about The Grudge 3.
Oh, stop it. Actually, that was just one of those things. I was in Europe, I was in England, and they cast The Grudge, that movie particularly. They cast it out of England, and I was in England, and the movie shot in Bulgaria, where I have worked a lot, so I know pretty much everybody in the film business in Bulgaria.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those things. It was just like, you're in England, they're casting it here. Do you fancy doing it? It's like you get a trip to Bulgaria, see your friends. I'm like, sure.
Sure.
I have to say, I've never seen it.
Oh, never?
I actually don't like horror.
Well, let me ask you.
And I've done horror.
Do you watch yourself?
Can't watch it.
Can you watch yourself on TV?
Not
you
in
watch
horror movies.
Not in horror movies, but can you watch like the Next Generations or anything like that, or the movies?
If I'm flicking through, if I'm flicking through the channels and it's on, I'll stop for a nanosecond and just get really depressed at how skinny I was. And I'm not anymore.
It's like watching home videos in a sense.
Okay. Back to the football. See, what I watch is sports.
Right.
You see, I am
a big football fan.
I'm the big football fan. Yeah,
right.
The real football.
Are you a
the one where they actually kick the ball with their feet. That football.
Jaime, the real football, not American football.
The rugby?
No, soccer.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I call
it.
I call it football and American football.
Right.
Because, hang on a second.
Sure.
I'm not just being obstreperous. We invented the game in England, right? We invented football. And when you invent something, you are allowed to name it. And just because this new country comes along 200 years ago, and, this new country comes along and has a game where it's closer to rugby than it is to football, and they decide to call it football, doesn't mean you have to change the name of the original sport.
Exactly. I agree with you on that. I agree.
Thank you.
So would you ever play another character in a full-time series? Like if it's a series that you know is going to pick up 4 or 5 years, you would do it?
In a nanosecond. I love television. I'm not, back when we started on Star Trek, okay, we're going back to the Middle Ages now virtually, but when we started on TNG, there was a real differential between TV actors and movie actors. And movie actors, they would tell their agents, I don't do television. I'm just going to be a movie star.
Right.
And that's fine. But now, and that was the way it was. And it was almost like you were kind of a B class, actor if you were a TV actor as opposed to a movie star. But now it's not anymore. I think personally, we're in a golden age of television right now.
We really are.
We're getting some really fantastic TV. And I have been in some really rubbish movies. So I would rather be in a good TV show any day of the week than be in a movie just to say, it's a feature film. And I love television. Brent Spiner and I joke about this. We both say, when we're not on television, we're watching television.
What are you watching now? What's your shows?
Oh, well, I got very excited today. I was at a girly lunch that was honoring a producer friend of mine, Cindy Cow, and she was being honored by Variety at women empowerment thing. It was fantastic. And I met some of the girls from Vikings, and I totally fangirled out. I love Vikings. I love the series that are like 12, 10, 12 episodes.
Right.
So Vikings, Downton Abbey, anything English on PBS, I watch all of that stuff because I get homesick and it just reminds me of home. And plus, I'm sorry, but the English do the best costume dramas. They just do.
They really do.
They just do.
You don't watch The Walking Dead?
Well, and I'm dying for Game of Thrones to come back.
Yeah, that's a great show.
Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what I tend to do is because the girls from Vikings were asking me today, what did I think of the new season? And I said, well, actually, I haven't watched yet because I DVR the whole season and then I binge watch it.
Yeah, it's the best way to watch anything nowadays. So if somebody ever came up to you and they had a great script, would you ever reprise the role as Counselor Troi? If it was in the script and it felt right?
I loved playing her. I really did love playing her because as you can probably tell from talking to me, I'm nothing like her.
Right.
You know, it was a real challenge to play that part. And as an actor, that's what draws you to a part, is the challenge of playing that part. And so, you know, for me, the biggest challenge of playing Deanna Troi was pretty much keeping Marina out of her.
Right.
You know, and making her true to who she was. And it would be interesting to me to go back now, you know, 20 years later and kind of go, who did she become? You know, who is she now?
It'd be a challenge.
And so,
an interesting challenge.
Yeah, I would find that very interesting. And actually, yeah, I would love to do that.
Well, we're working on an animated series. Well, I'm working on it right now. Yeah, we're pitching ideas. We're trying to redo like Fuller House. We're doing like Star Trek Next Generation, but like Fuller House did. We're doing like a sitcom-based deal. So I'll let you know when we have everything together, but it's in the works. You know, we're talking to Amazon.
You know, Jonathan Frakes and I have been saying for years that we want to do the half hour of Star Trek.
That would be great.
A half-hour sitcom. And it would be the Rikers in space.
That would be great.
And we'd have our friends come visit and guest star on the show, and there'd be, you know, wacky Uncle Data, and our little dog Worf, you know.
That would be fantastic.
No one's biting though.
Well, you know, with all these online, like Netflix and Amazon and Cracked and all, somebody's got to pick it up.
Wouldn't that be great?
That would be great. I would watch it.
Someone actually said, you know what? Yeah, everyone we've pitched, every fan that we've ever suggested it to would watch it.
Absolutely.
So maybe one day it'll happen.
If we watch Fuller House, we'll watch that for sure. Fuller House is terrible.
Okay. Oh, I'm pleading the fifth on this one for my fellow thespians.
No, I think they did good. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't like a show I would watch if it wasn't Full House.
Well, you see, we didn't really get it in England, so I wasn't really
a fan.
I didn't really know the show that well, except for the fact that my fellow Greek John Stamos is in it. So
absolutely.
He of the ageless face.
Yeah, he looks great, doesn't he? I mean, he's what, 50, early 50s, mid 50s right now?
He looks amazing now. It's that good Greek skin. It's all the olive oil.
That's right. Some people do a show and they work together for all these years, and then they disband and then never talk to each other again. But you guys really seem to have a very close bond, like a family bond.
Oh, we're best friends.
Yeah.
Best friends. I mean, we don't see each other all the time. Like, obviously, we were working together, so we saw each other every day. But,
right.
So we don't see each other every day. But and we don't see Patrick as much as we'd like to because he's never in Los Angeles. He's jet setting all over the world. But the rest of us who are based in Los Angeles, we're all still best friends. And you're right, it's very unusual in Hollywood. There's probably, a handful of shows that can honestly say, and without casting aspersions on my other Star Trek friends,
right, we
really were the only show of all the incarnations that the whole cast absolutely adored each other from day one.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a director in the first season who directed 2 shows and then refused to ever come back because we were too rowdy.
I read somewhere that Patrick got mad at you guys because you were too rowdy in the beginning.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were a bit. Yeah, we were. We kind of set off, took off and it stayed that way. I mean, it was amazing. It was serendipity that we just all clicked. But Patrick was from the Royal Shakespeare Company,
right?
And I had heard from friends who had worked with him that he was very serious and it was all about the work. And so I don't think he was a happy camper when we started. But he will tell you now, when you interview him, that we changed him for the better.
I've seen clips of now, behind the scenes stuff, and he's dancing and singing all over the place, and
he's a very silly man now. Yeah.
Is that
and his wife can thank us for it because she wouldn't have never married him if he'd stayed the way he was. Trust me.
I heard him on Howard Stern actually, and he was great. He was joking around and having a good time.
No, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
It was like he just needed. You know what? I think he just needed permission.
Right.
And because of our behavior, he got permission by osmosis to be, to let go and just be freer and have a laugh. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, we're making a TV show. We're not curing cancer.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
I think you're the only person out of the rest of the cast, and I've talked to quite a few of you guys, but I think you're the only person to be just straight up honest on this. I'm putting myself in your shoes. If I did a show 20 years ago, and then I came and did, conventions, I think the worst part would be, talking to these people and answering questions that have been asked for 20 years, and it just seems like a beating. I go to these conventions from time to time, and I can't even be there for an hour. and you guys are sitting there all day signing autographs, answering the same question over and over. Is the money really that good, or do you just enjoy it that much? I mean, it's like, I don't know how you do it. I ran into Michael Dorn. This is a couple years ago.
He gets a little grumpy.
He looked beat down. I ran into him. This was like after a convention somewhere. Like I ran into him around town. And he was just beat down. I'm like, did you just come from a convention? And he was like, yes.
Well, I enjoy it, and I'm not BSing you. I truly enjoy it. Yes, it can get a little tedious, sitting there hour after hour. If there's no one coming up to get your autograph,
right.
If you're sitting there and there's no one coming up to you, it can get a little boring.
Yeah.
But then I go off and I find friends. I just go off and catch up with the people that I haven't seen in a while, which is another lovely thing about the conventions, is that you have these convention friends that you've made on the convention circuit that you pretty much only see at conventions, but you're good chums,
Right,
so that's always fun.
That's cool.
And the Q&A part, to me,
is a lot of fun.
That is the cherry on top of the ice cream sundae, because I'm a stage actress. I came from the stage. I can't remember the last time I did a play, really. And so for me, to get up in front of a live audience, whether it's 30 people or 30,000 people, it's the same thing, because I do get asked the same questions over and over. It's kind of evolved into this stand-up routine.
Yeah.
And what I say to the fans who come and see me over and over and over again, I'm like, you've heard all the jokes before.
Right.
Why do you still come,
Right.
Because it ain't cheap. It ain't cheap
it's
to
not.
love us. I know it's not cheap to love us. And we really appreciate, what the fans, they work hard for their money and they come and spend it on us. And we appreciate them so much. But I always, like I say, why are you here?
Yeah.
And they say to me, and what I hear time after time is, Marina, it's like going to your favorite musical and hearing your favorite song.
I get that. I understand that.
Right?
Yeah.
So I kind of go, God bless them. Really, God bless them. These fans are the most loyal fans ever in the history of show business.
They really are.
It's the 50th. It's the 50th anniversary this year.
Yes.
And we're still on the phone in 2016 talking about Star Trek.
Isn't that incredible?
It's pretty unique. In pop culture.
It really is.
It really is. And actually, the older I get, and the longer the longer it's been since we did the show, the more I get to appreciate, I think, what my position, or our position as a cast, I should say, what our position as a cast has in the history of pop culture in America and the history of the show business.
You look back,
because I think we were very important. I really do think we were important.
Yeah, you have to look back and just be like, wow, am I blessed? I mean, come on. I mean, you were seconds away from leaving the country, and look what happened.
If you had said to the ugly little girl that I was at 13, and trust me, I have the pictures to prove it. If you had said to me when I was 13, and really ugly, one day, Marina, you're going to be an icon, and people are going to look up to you and say, and you're going to be a sex symbol, I would have said, what are you smoking? I mean, really, it was absolutely not going to happen to me, and look what happened.
That's incredible. You couldn't write that.
I showed a picture. No one believes me, but I showed a picture to Michael Dorn. And he said, okay, I recognize your mom and your brother, but who's the chimpanzee? No, really.
Oh, man. Who gets the most autographs at these conventions? Who do you get jealous of? You're like, why is his line so long?
Anybody from The Walking Dead at the moment.
Really? Yeah, that's a big show.
Oh, man, they are just so popular.
Yeah.
And, quite rightly too, but I mean, they are like the big ticket.
But you can't watch that show, right? You can't watch. It's too gory.
I can't. No, I don't do zombies.
Yeah.
No, I've been in a zombie movie and I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I've just had vampire. I've done all of that stuff. I just have never seen it. I have to sleep with the lights on for the rest of my life. That's all.
That's how I am. I do enjoy the show, but that's about as far as I go. All right, I got to ask one last question and we'll let you go. Since it's election season, if you had to pick one of the cast members from The Walking Dead, or the characters from The Walking Dead, from the next generation, who would you vote for to be president?
Me.
You.
I'd make a great
I think you
president.
would. I think you
really would. I really, because I tell you why. There's a reason behind this. I'm the only one who really speaks my mind.
Yeah.
I am totally honest, and Actually, I had a young man come up to me at a convention once. He had Asperger's. And he said to me, Miss Sirtis, I have Asperger's. Do you know what that is? And I said, yes, absolutely. He said, well, I want to thank you. And I said, for what? And he said, I understand you because you say what you mean.
Yeah.
And I am that person who says what I mean. And so, as I said, you can't offend me.
Right.
I have such thick skin. It's just water off a duck's back. So they could run all the negative campaigns. They could do all that stuff. I wouldn't care.
See, that's why I like you the best.
I have thought about going into politics. I have thought about it.
Did you really?
Because I'm very interested in politics.
Yeah. Well, what stopped you? Are you still planning on it?
Well, there's just too many naked pictures of me out there. You know what happened.
I mean, Google that. I haven't seen these yet.
Oh, stop it. Like you haven't already. Yeah, all right.
Marina, thank you so much. We'll be there this Saturday, I think. So we'll see
Okay,
you.
Come and say hello.
We will.
Okay, sweetheart.
All right. Thank you very much. Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you. Happy birthday to you, too.
Thank you very much.
MZNOW.